In this video, I'm just going to quickly explain the way the lectures and the lecture outlines are structured and some of the keys to taking good notes. There's always a title up at the top of the lecture outline slide, underlined here, what kind of freedom? And then, after that lecture title, each lecture is broken up into these Roman numeraled subsections. I sometimes refer to them as sections, sometimes as parts. And if we use parts for the moment, then this is lecture number 1. This section right here is lecture number 1, part 1. And then this section, lecture number 1, part 2. Get it? This kind of organizational thinking will really help for your preparation for tests and that kind of thing. Within each Roman numeraled section, there are these things that are in italics. The things that are in italics are the key terms. The key terms. And if you remember from the syllabus, you're going to have these key term quizzes. Quizzes related to these specific parts of the material. The key terms. So if I told you, hey, make sure you know the key terms for lecture number 1, then these would be them. Only the parts in italics. So, understanding the Constitution, not a key term. More like a chapter title. But these, key terms. And these, the key terms in part 2 of lecture number 1. An important note. At some points, you'll do what's called key term fill in the blank. It may be a quiz. It'll also be part of the midterm and the final, where you'll read a sentence. The sentence has a blank, and you're supposed to put the correct key term in the blank. So these, the things in italics, are the only eligible answers when you're looking at a key term fill in the blank. If you read the sentence and you think, oh, 1776 makes sense as an answer, it's definitely wrong. Because the only thing that could be answers in a key term fill in the blank are key terms. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure you know the key terms. A second important point is that there are how many key terms in this lecture? Just say it out loud. The correct answer was 6. There are 6 key terms. 3 in part 1. And you see this one is actually like a 2-line key term. It's a 2-parter. Emancipation Proclamation and the 13th Amendment. And down here is another 2-parter. Black Codes and the Civil Rights Act. If you're taking a key term quiz or doing a key term fill in the blank on the midterm or the final, and the sentence has 2 blanks, the answer is always a 2-part key term. If the sentence has 2 blanks, I would never be asking you to put 2 different key terms, one in the first blank, one in the second blank. Instead, when you read the sentence and it has 2 blanks, you should have kind of a short list of possible answers. Like, oh, what are the 2-part key terms that could be the answer? Okay, so key term fill in the blank. Also, on the midterm and the final, there will be a section that asks you to write a well-developed paragraph about the key terms. Not all of them, but a few. Because you don't know which ones I'm going to ask you about, you want to make sure, as you're taking notes, that when you look back at your notes, remember, generated by your brain and your fingies, that when you look back at your notes, you read over it and you think, oh, I could write a well-developed paragraph. about each key term. There is a much more developed study guide on Blackboard if you're in the online class, which will help you make sure that your notes are doing what you need them to do. The kind of things that if we're in a face-to-face class, you'll ascertain based on our class meetings. But if you're in the online class, use that study guide as you go through each lecture assignment. Okay, so you want to make sure your notes can do a well-developed paragraph about each key term. And, well, how many of you, just raise your hand, how many of you have had a class where you had to take notes, but really what you were doing was like copying a bunch of text down from slides? Okay, lots of people with their hands up. This is not really that kind of class. If I show you the PowerPoint in this view, you can see that it's a lot of images, historical documents, maps, primary sources, and what I'll do in the lectures is use these resources to provide a narrative, a story of the relevant events as we move along. And so another really important, just basic, important metric for whether you're taking good notes or not is that you have notes that correspond with every slide. And if, as we're going through the lecture, we spend a minute on the slide, maybe you just have a little short note. But if we spend much more time, then you've got more notes, because we spent more time there. Finally, I feel like you're feeling good, you're feeling confident, you're like, okay, I'm going to make sure I have good notes on each of these key terms. But that is not the only thing that you're supposed to take notes on. Your notes, because you have notes that correspond with each slide, your notes, when you read them, should feel to you like a story, like a narrative. And if your notes do that for you, then you're on the right track. Finally, civil rights in America. That's the class, right? The working definition of civil rights that the class proceeds from is like the rights of the people according to the law. The rights of the people according to the law. Make sure that's like the one real note you need to have from this video. Make sure you get that right up at the top of your first page. The rights of the people according to the law. If you start to think that through for a second, then obviously civil rights are different country to country. Even within the United States, state to state, civil rights can be different. Civil rights are different across time, right? New laws created. Civil rights, of course, can be different for different groups of people, if that's the way the law is constructed. The rights of the people according to the law. Keep that concept separate from, although connected to, the concept of human rights. Human rights is more abstract. It's a set of ideas about rights that inherently belong to every human being, whether they come from God or from nature. Human rights, as a concept, transcends country, time, place, and that's not the focus of our class. The focus of our class is civil rights. In the next video, we'll get into it.